Okay, I just got off work, as you can see, and I thought I would put in my entry to Ron Haggerty's Top 5 Punk Rock Albums contest to win a Black Flag record. So, here we go. And we'll start with Devo. This is in the top 5 along with the others because it kind of changed you after you heard it. Like, let's say you heard this thing on a Friday night at a friend's house. When you went to school the next Monday morning after hearing this, you weren't the same. You were different. All of a sudden, AC/DC didn't mean so much. Rod Stewart and whatever else was popular at the time when this thing came out kind of lost momentum to you. And now you were obsessed with this album and what it sounded like and how different it was. And that's what makes this thing in the top 5 of punk rock albums that changed your life and definitely changed mine. All right, here's another one, the Butthole Surfers. Again, if you dug it, you weren't the same after you heard it. And with this thing, you know, you may have lost a couple of friends with Devo. With this thing, you lost all your prior friends when you started digging stuff like this. You, again, weren't the same after you heard the Butthole Surfers, and it definitely deserves to be in the top 5. And here's this obvious release, the Sex Pistols' Nevermind the Bullocks, one of the top punk rock albums ever made. And again, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, and, you know, bands like that, The Who, they weren't as important as they were before you heard this thing. This thing kind of changed your outlook. It, you know, like the Ramones, it just changed the way that you thought about rock and roll music. All right, here is this punk rock masterpiece, the compilation by Jello Biafra, Let 'Em Eat Jelly Beans. This thing also completely changed the type of music that you were looking for when you went to Tower Records. You no longer were looking for Styx and, you know, bands like that, Journey. Now you were looking for Flipper. You had to find more Flipper. You had to find more DOA, more Black Flag, Bad Brains, Dead Kennedys, Circle Jerks, The Feeders, The Subhumans from Canada, Giza X, The Offs, bands like that. You were searching for instead of whatever Ted Nugent had coming out at the time. So this compilation is definitely in the top 5. Thank you, Jello Biafra. Okay, that's been 4, and the contest calls for 5. And so I'm going to show the number 1. I'm going to show the number 1 punk rock record that I feel of all times. This record changed everything for everybody on the entire planet. And it's Little Richard's very first record. This thing was the very first time that millions of people heard songs that were loud, they were fast, they were energetic, and they had the guy singing them, screaming at them. And I think I just spelled out punk rock right there. Songs like Keep a Knockin', Heebie Jeebies, Good Golly Miss Molly, The Girl Can't Help It, Lucille, Those songs had you going crazy. And this is exactly where punk rock started, rock and roll started, and in the words of Lemmy from Motorhead, everything started from Little Richard. So this would be my very, I guess at the top, very favorite at the top punk rock record is Little Richard. The very first time music got loud and it got crazy. Look at that. Leg up on the piano and just kicking ass. All right, and that's it. That's the top 5. And I added a little twist, top 5 records that changed your life, and the next Monday at school you're not the same, and you don't have the same friends. And with the Butthole Surfers, you don't have any friends, but you don't care because you found something that is more important than some friend that after high school you're not even going to know them. Anyway, I'm going to put a bonus on this. I'm going to show another record that changed things, and it is definitely one of the greatest punk rock records ever made, but it changed things not for the more radical. Even though this record is radical, it didn't lead to more radical like the Ramones did. So this is a strange little add-on to this video. And it's Bad Religion Suffer. This is one of the greatest punk rock records ever made, and for some reason this thing, for how crazy and loud and just energetic, and just have you listening to this thing over and over again, it didn't lead to crazier music than what is on this record. It led to kind of softer stuff, like I don't know, No Doubt, No Use for a Name, No Effects, which I love No Effects, but No Effects are not Negative Approach, or Iggy Pop, which I would have added Iggy Pop, but I can't because I only had 5. Anyway, this is the last record I'll show. It's not an entry, but it is a very important record. Okay, that's the end of the video. All praises to Little Richard. Good night.